What's up, guys? How you all doing? Trust you guys are doing well. It's your boy Michael. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time coming across the channel, thanks for stopping by. And to be part of the family, you know what to do. Just subscribe to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about living in United States. You guys know this on this channel. I talked about education, lifestyle, and social commentary. But today I want someone to share our own experience about living in America, considering that she grew up in Nigeria, and that's why I have her here. So guys, stay tuned, go nowhere. Welcome back, guys. So my guest, I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. So can you introduce yourself to the viewer? First of all, before you introduce yourself, thank you for creating this time to do this content with me. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Hi guys, my name is Koko and I live in Houston, Texas, and I just got into Georgia to shoot this with Michael and also give my view on a few things and questions that he's going to be asking me. So stay tuned while we continue with this segment.
Yeah, thank you for introducing yourself. So guys, like I said earlier on, I'm always trying to give content that can make life easy for you if you're trying to relocate abroad or trying to settle down here. So Koko, let's start with this. How was it like for you when you landed in United States, considering that you grew up in Nigeria?
Yes, I did grow up in Nigeria. I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria, and then landing in the United States was just, when I got here, I was like, okay, I'm here now, what's next? So a little background story, I usually used to come to the United States as a child, but just, on holidays and stuff like that. But then coming to live in the United States is different from visiting the United States. Like, there's a whole different ball game, because now you have to think of survival. What can I do to survive? How can I put food on the table and all this kind of stuff? So when I got here the first time, it was a complete culture shock, because I got here in the summer. And in the summer it's really hot, but I came from Abuja. Abuja is hot, but even at that we're very covered with our jeans and our t-shirts. But when I got here, it was all the girls had bikini tops.
Wow.
And had really low bump shorts and then my mom was like, who's that person? No, you need to cover yourself. And then she's like, what are you guys doing? I'm gonna call the cops on you. And I'm like, Mom, you can't do that, So that was a really big shock for me. And she just went, yeah, the weather is hot. Y'all need to lose some of those clothes. And I'm like, how are we gonna do that? But yeah, that was one of the very first things that shocked me, And then something else, I was like, I needed to work now, because first 1-2 months, the money that you bring is going to finish at the end of the day, and then you're going to have to survive and put food on the table and stuff like that. So I had to start looking for ways to work and things to do. And then I got a job in a restaurant where I started working, and then it was just a lot, moving from being in the cut room to being in the kitchen.
Sorry, when you say cut room, there's no backstory to that,
there is. I'm a trained lawyer. I'm called to the Nigerian bar.
Okay.
And then I'm a barrister on solicitor to the Supreme Court of Nigeria. So I've been practicing law for 6 years before I got here. So when I got here, obviously I couldn't work, and then I couldn't drive. I couldn't do a lot of things. So it was very easy to start feeling very depressed. So I needed to pick up my life and do something. So I went out to look for a job. And then I got a job in a kitchen, because that's the only place that they were going to allow me to work and be paid on the table. And then that's where I started from. So it was a whole change in my scenery, a whole change in the things that I've been used to, but it's something I needed to do to survive at the time. So I just humbled myself and I did it.
When you say under the table, I'm sure people who are not living in the Western world might not understand what that is. Can you share more light on that?
No, Michael, Google it. Well, it just means a place where you can work and not be taxed, and you necessarily don't have to have all of your documentation to work in those kind of places, because they have a certain quota that they can have people work that are not documented, that they can help with.
Okay. So saying that, when you say something like survivor, does it mean that anyone who relocate to US or any western part of the world has to go through that phase of like surviving for a couple of months before settling down, or what?
I would say yes and no. Yes, if you don't have anybody, like I didn't have anybody per se, you would have to go through that phase.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, so like you would have to go through that phase because you would have to make sure that you're surviving, make sure that your bills are paid, make sure that, you know, all of that good stuff. If you're coming in vice school and you probably had mommy and daddy pay everything for you, you know, like you don't have to do that.
Yeah, but you know, saying something about school, not everyone that came here as a student has like parents paying for them.
That's why
like
I said
some adults actually came on their own.
Exactly.
You know?
So if you come on your own as an adult, you also want to survive. You want to pay your bills.
Of course.
And probably start sending money back home.
Of course.
So if someone tells you wash plates for $7.25, are you gonna say, oh no, I can't wash plates, I'm a chief in my village? Nobody cares. Do you get what I mean? Like when you just cross Muritala Muhammad and you get here, you just forget the whole chieftaincy, whatever you were in your village, and just come in here, humble yourself. As far as it's not illegal, you're doing something that's legally allowed to do, you survive. You get in there, you put your boots on the floor, and then you get it kicking. So the other reason why I say yes and no is because some people come in to meet their spouses who already are established. Some people come in with already like green cards. You just come in and you already have your green card, so you don't need to do all of that. So that's why it's like a yes and no situation. But however way you come in here, you can survive. There's always a way to survive.
Okay, you said something about being humble. How important is that? Because you know, a lot of people who are maybe watching now and they are not, you know, in the Western world or United States might not really understand what that, you know, entails. What does that mean to be humble when you get here?
For me personally, because I'm gonna speak about myself, right? For me, humility is resetting my brain to say, okay, I'm in a new environment now, I'm in a new space, and I need to survive. And I cannot go around saying I'm a qualified lawyer, you can't be asking me to wash plates. Oh no, keep that aside. No, humility was me looking at the money that I'm going to make at the end of the week and doing what I needed to do. So my mind is fixed on that $500 paycheck that I'm getting at the end of the week. I'm like, I'm not going to let this man take away my paycheck because I needed the money. You know? So it's just blanking out everything. Oh, there was a lot of, you know, you're a lawyer, don't come and lawyer in my kitchen here. You know, like all those side comments and everything. It doesn't take away, once you're called to the bar, you're called to the bar. It doesn't take away that from you. Once you're an engineer, you're an engineer. You're a DJ, whatever you are, you already have that qualification. That's the beauty of education. Nobody can take that away from you. Do you understand that? So once you know that nobody can take that away from you, you will just keep working hard and then put that aside. You know that you're doing what you're doing to survive, but you have a goal in mind to either change career path or go back to your career. But this is not where you're going to be forever. This is just a stepping stone to where you're going.
Thank you for that. So you guys have from her. It's normal to go through, you know, the trying time, but like they say, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. It's not going to be for, you know, forever. It's just going to be for like a short while. Another question I would like to ask you is that it's something I've also experienced. Like people who want to buy something and they tend to like calculate it or convert it to naira.
Oh, that was
did you pass through that? Did you pass through that?
Hands up me.
Did you pass through that stage?
I would calculate everything. Like I would take my calculator. If I went to the store and I was going to buy something for $10, I would take my calculator and I'd be like, 6,000 naira, how? Drop it. You know, I did that for a long time, but then I realized that I wasn't leaving because I'm not spending in naira, I'm earning in dollars, but I'm also spending in dollars. So I had to refactor my mind to understand that I'm here now, my bills are going to be in dollars, I'm going to be spending money in dollars, so I have to understand how dollar works. So I stopped comparing it to the naira, but started doing relative estimation to the actual dollar. So is this thing worth $2? Not is this thing worth, you know, because I remember one time I went to buy water at Walmart and then I had carried a case of water. It was like $4.99, that's like $5, right? And then I was like, how how would I buy water 3,000 naira? How much is pure water? It was just a whole mess. But then once I got my mind right, it takes a while because when you're just coming off the boat, it's like that. Because even if I go when I go on holidays to other countries, I'm gonna be like, oh, how much is this in dollars? I'm like, why is British pounds like this? You know, it's just normal. But once you relocate to come live here, you need to like work on your mind and realize that you make money in dollars, you spend the money in dollars.
So like from what you just said now, it's normal to have that kind of feeling at first.
Very normal. Very normal.
Well, the next stage I want to like move into is the career part. Like you and I know, people who are coming here to to live here or relocate here, they are coming here because they want to like live the American dream or for the greener pasture. So how easy was it for you to change the career path? Because I know you are no longer working in the restaurant now. Obviously you are in a better place now. So how easy was it for you to like change a career path? Because I know before we started this conversation, you said you are no longer into like the law or the attorney. So like how easy was it for you to switch career paths?
For me, to be honest with you, it was the money. I had to think about the money because lawyers make good money, don't get me wrong, but you need to there's a lot of competition, get into like top law firms or starting your own firm, which is probably going to be like immigration law, because that's what a lot of people do. So I knew myself that I didn't want to spend all those years in school and accumulate a lot of debts in student loan. So I started to do researches. Most of my friends went into nursing, which is also really good, but then I knew that I didn't want to be a nurse because I couldn't stand blood. I couldn't stand being spoken to a certain kind of way. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, nursing is not for me. It's not for everybody really. So I did a little more research and I went into IT. IT is the future. Even in nursing, they're teaching everyone to do everything by the computer. Nobody carries pen and paper in the hospital anymore. Everything is, your chats is done online, everything is done online. So I went into IT and then I started IT. I, just saved up my own money and did the trainings and got into it. And once I got into it, I started to make money off the bat. Like I started to make money as much as my friends who went to nursing school for 3 years or even more sometimes, because they have to work like overtime to make that money. So for me, it was just, finding something. I can go back to law later because that's my passion, but I needed to find something to help me settle and, do all the things that I had in mind before going back. Because, passion doesn't put food on the table. Of
course.
It is hard work that puts food on the table. Passion is good, but there comes a time where you, as an adult, you have to, prioritize and be like, okay, I'm passionate about this. Like, I'm passionate about sleep, but sleep is not going to put food on my table, Yeah, so that was it for me.
Okay, the last question I have for you is that a lot of people have this phobia of I don't want to start all over again. I have a friend in Nigeria that even when I was trying to help him to apply to school, it was like, man, I don't want to go back. I don't want to start all over again. I'm already comfortable in Nigeria. So what's your advice for such people who they really want the greener pasture, but the fear of starting all over again is what is hindering them? What's your advice to such people?
Fear is fear. It's called fear for a reason. Fear holds you back.
It holds you back.
Fear holds you back. There's so much potential. I have so many examples of people who have come here. I had a friend who was a top banker in Zenny Bank, and then he thought he was a big deal back then. He came here, started afresh, even worked at the same restaurant.
Wow.
A bank manager was washing plates at the back too. But today he's a cloud engineer. He makes over $350,000 a year. What kind of work is he going to do in Nigeria to make that money? Takes care of his family, has built multiple houses, done things for himself. He's comfortable. So don't let the fear of starting stop you from starting. The fear of what's going to happen when you start, when you get to that bridge, you will cross it. Don't let fear stop you. If you're truly, truly comfortable in Nigeria and you're okay with what you're doing, or in any other African country, then you don't need to be here. Everybody doesn't need to be abroad. Yeah, everybody doesn't. There are people who do it very, very well back home. Stay on your career path, that's fine. But if there's something that you have thought about or that you want to do for your kids or for your future, and you want to move out of Africa and come over here, don't let the fear stop you. it's only for a short while. The reward at the end is way better than the sacrifice in the beginning. So that's how I see it. I see the beginning as your sowing years, and then later years as your reaping years. Because sometimes you got to sow before you reap. So I don't want the fear to hinder you or stop you from making that move. At the same time, if you know you're very comfortable back home and you don't, everyone doesn't have to be here, Michael. But if you know that this is what you want for yourself, then don't let the fear stop you. Just get on that plane and come here and find your way.
Well, guys, she couldn't have said it better. Don't let the fear stop you. There's going to be a time that you have to sow. There's also going to be a time you have to reap. So guys, that's what I have for you today, living in United States. Let me know what you guys think about the content. If you are living in the Western world already, let's know through the comment section how you are able to move from that stage of hustling at the beginning to the present situation that you have now. So guys, thanks for watching, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications so that anytime I drop any content like this, or even content about applying to school in any of the Western world, you get to know about it. So once again, Koko, thank you for creating time to share your own experience about living in United States with the viewer.
Thank you for having me as well.
You're welcome. So guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Adios.